So very good morning, my dear students. So in the basic microbiology and the phytopathology class, so we are going to commence a new section. So topic 4, the characters of kingdom fungi and its classification. So in the last two classes, we were discussing about what is actually the course microbiology and the phytopathology, and what are the basic characters of these bacteria and its classifications, and what are the beneficial effect of certain bacteria and its application to the agriculture, and it is important, especially the nitrogen fixation through the uh, rhizobium and its association and the biofertilizers. So today we are going to commence kingdom fungi. So in the kingdom fungi, we will study the characters of kingdom fungi, growth and reproduction of the kingdom fungi, and the classification of the plant pathogenic fungi and coming under kingdom. So first we will discuss the characteristics of kingdom fungi. So you all know the fungi belongs to eukaryote, right? Fungi belongs to the eukaryote under the one kingdom fungi. This is under the kingdom fungi, and so you can classify this one as an eukaryotic group because you can find the membrane bounded organelles in these organisms. So fungi are not plants, right? Actually, this is non-photosynthetic organisms and eukaryotes, and are non-motiles. They cannot move, but so if they are producing spores, these spores can able to move. But fungi alone, as a cell, it can't move. Right? But like a bacteria can move it, but fungi cannot move. But the most of the fungi are saprophytes, live on the dead organisms. They are living in dead organisms. And they grow best in the warm and moist environments, right? They grow in a wide range of environment, like bacteria can grow in wide range of environmental condition. But the fungi, it needs moisture. The absence of moisture, you cannot expect any fungi. That's what in the rainy season, everywhere you can find the fungi growth, right? Everywhere you can find the fungi growth. So this is also called as an absorptive heterotrophs. It means they are ejecting these enzyme into the substrate. Then after the digestion of the substrates, they can absorb by using like a root-like structures present in the fungi. Or some fungi, they have this mycelium, have a special adaptation we call it as a hostoria to draw the nutrition, whatever they needed for the energy. Right? So this normally the fungi store the whatever it absorbs in this abundance, they can store it as a glycogen. That's what this is it's a contrasting organism compared to the bacteria. That's what we are calling it as we are classifying this one as a different kingdom. They are not producing photosynthetic products. They are not doing the photosynthesis. So, but they can able to absorb the nutrition by excreting the digestive enzymes. Right? They cannot move it. They can able to store their food energy as a glycogen. That's what we are calling it as. This is somewhat higher organisms. So characters of the kingdom fungi continues the important for the decomposers and the recyclers of the nutrition in the environment, right? So they are the major decomposers. Mainly, if you are saying there, I think you would have studied in the environmental biology class 2. So in the forest, decompose because they are many trees, they have the high amount of lignin. So the lignin only can decompose by using some higher the fungi groups they are producing. Right, fungi groups they are producing enzyme called as an lignin, right? So they are producing lignin. So that's how these are major role play the decomposing and the recycling of the nutrition in the environment. They are multicellular, not like the bacteria. They are multicellular. Some organism only except yeast, Yeast is a single cellular organism. We call it as a unicellular organism, coming under the kingdom fungi. So because most of the characteristics are suitable to classify this yeast as kingdom. Lack of true roots, stem and leaves, but they are producing mycelia and grow the nutrition producing special hypha. We will study the what is the exact meaning of hypha and hyphae and other things, but they don't have lack of roots and stems and leaves. Their cell wall is made up of chitin. So call it as a complex polysaccharide. The bacteria would have seen that one is a mucopeptide, but in the chitin is present in the kingdom. So these grow as a microscopic tubes or filaments called hyphae. They produces some met like she said the growing part of the kingdom fungi. We call it as a mycelia. This mycelia can grow anywhere, wherever it need to find a food. Then this mycelia can grow in the environmental suiting. It is growing continuously. Whenever it want to produce some sexual reproduction, it produce some fungi can be able to produce fruiting bodies. Through that, one of the example is a mushroom. I see through the fruiting bodies, this can be observable under your naked eye. But in other parts, can't see it. Right? Some fungi are internal or external parasites. And for example, some fungi can kill and draw the nutrition from the other organisms. Even some of the fungi groups are very dangerous to the human being. Many fungi groups are drawing the nutrition by killing these plants. Some are predatories in the nematodes, especially they are producing suicidal loops. When the nematodes are moving through the suicidal loops, they can squeeze the neck and kill it and draw the nutrition from them. Right? Draw the nutrition from them. Some fungi groups are edible. Right? For example, is the mushroom. So different groups of mushrooms you can able to eat. Right? And others are poisonous. Mainly some of them poisonous. Reproduce both sexually and asexually. So they can reproduce sexually as well as asexually. Classified by the sexual reproductive structures also. You can classify the fungi according to the reproductive structures produced into 5 different fungi groups. So we call it as a true fungi groups. No, so not the 3. 3 fungi groups. Kingdom, right? We call it as a 3 phylums, right? So phylum Ascomycota, phylum Zygomycota, phylum Basidiomycota. There are 3 different phylums according to the sexual reproduction of these fungi groups, and we will study the extensive content of these 3 phylums in the next classes. So term related to the fungi. So mycology is the study of fungi. Right? So mycologist means or the person or scientists who are extensively study about the fungi and its characteristics. We call it as a mycologist. Fungicide is a chemical used to kill the fungi. We call it as a fungicide. As like terms you can even find in bacteria also. Bacteriology is the study of bacteria. Bacteriologist is the person or scientist who are working on bacteria, and there is no any bactericide except you can use some of these antibiotic as a fungicides, bactericides, but mainly there is no any chemical against bacteria and fungi, but secondary metabolites of the fungi, these we call it as an antibiotics you can use to control the bacteria. And the growth of the fungi. We'll study from the spores to until completion of the reproduction, what are the growth stages and structures you can find from the fungi. First part of the fungi from the spores we call it as a hypha. Hypha is a single cell mycelium. Right? It's a single part of the mycelium is a hypha. Hyphae is a plural. Hyphae is a plural. So collection of this hypha we call it as a hyphae. Right? It's a tubular shape. Right? Tubular shape. So one continuous cells, it can grow here and there and form a mat, right? So form a mat and fill with the cytoplasm and the nuclei. They have the cytoplasm and the nuclei and multinucleate. Sometimes within a one cell, you can expect more than one nucleus, right? One nucleus, that's what we call it as a multinucleate, and it is grow continuously as it grow as a tube-like structure, we call it as a hyphae. So in the hyphae is filled with the cytoplasm and the nuclei. So in the nuclei, you can find one or more than one nuclei may be present in a single cell. This hard cell wall of the chitin is also in the insect exoskeleton. It is similar. Insect also you would have studied the chitinous membrane, right? So in the true fungi, you can find, in the lower fungi groups, you can find a chitin. Chitin is the cell wall of the fungi. Chitin is a cell wall of the fungi. That's how it is very difficult to use. It is very careful when you are using the fungicides, because if you are using the fungicide, these fungicides are toxic to human being. So why? So because this chitin and present in the fungi group, some of the similar structures it can expect in the even beneficial insect as well as in the human being also. Some part of the organs that you can expect with that. And hyphae. So in the hyphae, there are two components will be present, right? So you can expect there are two components present in the hyphae. One component, the aerial part of the hyphae, we call it as a stolon, right? Aerial part is we call it as a stolon here. This horizontal region is called as a stolon. Below that, you can find the pseudo roots like structures, we call it as a rhizoids. So stolon is a horizontal mycelia, horizontal hyphae. Stolon, the rhizoid is a like a below ground mycelia used to absorb the nutrition. The vertical hyphae, we call it as a sporangia. So through in the end of this sporangia, you can find the sporangium. Inside the sporangium, you can find there are a lot of conidiospores and sporangiospores. Right? Conidiophore and sporangiospore. So in between the hyphae, there you can expect some of the cross folds. This cross fold we call it as a septa. A septa is a plural, septum is a singular. So you can expect a septa. You divide the septa hyphae into compartments, right? Divide the hyphae into compartments. The septa have pores for the movement of the cytoplasm, like a xylem vessels. So you can expect the force in the between the hyphae. Through that cytoplasm can move. Cytoplasm can move. The forms of framework called the mycelia. Hyphae collection, that's what I told you. The collection of the hyphae we call it as a mycelia. Right? Mycelia that turn through the thallus of the body. Right? Hyphae. So in the mushroom, you can see that the vertical hyphae is a collection. It forms the fruiting body. It's called as a, we call it as, this one is we call it as a thallus. This one we call it as a thallus. How these hyphae absorb the nutrition? Right? How these hyphae absorb the nutrition means fungi so needs carbon and other organic resources. Fungi needs carbon and other organic resources. So the tips of the hyphae, you can find there are certain structures present. They can eject the enzymes outside the material, outside the body or into the substrate. The tip of the hyphae can release the enzymes. Where you can so nucleus. So nucleus, with help of the other organelles present in the hyphae, can produce enzymes. These enzymes are ejected outside the material. So once the material is digested, it is absorbed through the rhizoid or the hostorium. So especially modified hyphae found in the fungi to draw the nutrients. Right? So products diffuse back into the hyphae. Right? This is diffused back into the hyphae. And digestive material is used by the hypha. This is showing, right? This is showing a picture how they are working. This nutrition absorption, the fungi groups, how it is the absorption is happened. This is the modification of the hypha. I told you the hypha is a tube-like structure. If this tube-like structure in between these hypha, if it is there, is crossfold is present. So this is, we call it as a septate hypha, septate, septum. But if it is not, there is no any crossfold, this hyphae we call it as an aseptate or oinocyte. Aseptate or oinocytics. Oinocytics. C is silent, we call it as an oinocyte. Some of the modification of the hypha, I told you, this is the plant cells, this hypha can able to draw the nutrition by injecting the enzyme after digestion. This is we call it as a hostoria. Here, so hostorium is a single, hostoria is a plural. But here also, see, the nematophagous fungi also producing hostoria. This is the hostoria. Hostoria can able to draw the nutrition from this, their prey. Right? They are the prey. This is cell wall, nuclei, and spores in between the pore. I told you the crossfold it can go through the pore, cytoplasm can move here and there. Okay. So hyphal growth. So mainly the growth is happening in the tip portion of any part of the plant or animal, so right. So hyphae grow from their tips. Mycelium is an extensive and feeding web of the hyphae. Mycelium is the feeding web of the hypha. Mycelia ecologically active bodies of the fungi. So this cell wall is rigid. Only the tip of the wall is a plastic and the stretches. So it can, so bendable, it can penetrable, it can draw the nutrition, it can grow. So you see, hypha has certain characteristics. It's bendable, penetrable, drawable, make a injurable. So it can make, this is a hypha, it's making injury. Right? Making injury. So ejectable enzymes. So these are the different characters you can expect from this hypha. The reproduction of the fungi. The growth is one of the reproduction of the fungi. So in the while growing, so that is a part of the life cycle. Growth is a part of the life cycle. Reproduction is a part of the life cycle. If the fungi is grown fully, so if the nutrients are abundant, then they can able to reproduce. Why? To produce the offspring. It's a part of the life cycle. So fungi reproduce in both sexually as well as the asexually. Asexually means fragment of the mycelia, right? Fragment of the mycelia, it can form, or some of the mycelia can produce as spores, sporangiospores, conidiospores. This is we call as asexual. Sexually also they can produce a spores. Sexual mean contrast, right? Contrast mycelium. We call it as a plus and minus, male and female. These mycelium may come and connect together. The nucleus are fused together. It form another variation. Right? It can form another variation. We call it as a sexual reproduction. This sexual reproduction also they are producing different kind of spores. So according to that, you can classify these fungi into 3 different phylum: Zygomycota, Ascomycota, and Basidiomycota. But these 3 fungi, as well as in the lower fungi group, they can produce asexual spores and sexual spores. And the asexual spores commonly produced by the fungi, we call it as sporangiospore and conidiospores. Sexual spores, ascospores, zygospores, Basidiospores, as well as some of the lower fungi, especially the Phytophthora and Pythium, they are producing sexual spores. We call it as an oospores. Right? Oospores. There are 4 main types. Other than the other 2 types of sexual spores, also you can expect from the Basidiomycota. We call it as in Urudiospores and Teleospores. Urudiospores and Teleospores. So therefore, the kingdom and phylum Basidiomycota, they are producing 3 types of sexual spores: Basidiospores, Teliospores, and Duodiospores. Right? Basidiospores and Teliospores and Duodiospores. But others are single reproductive sexual spores. Oomycota fungi producing oospores, Zygomycota producing zygospores, Ascomycota producing ascospores. Right? There are 6 different kind of sexual spores. So use when the environmental conditions are poor. That's what I told you. While they are growing, the environmental conditions are not suitable, but nutrition are abundant. They can able to produce, reproduce sexually. But in other cases, they can multiply asexually. So no male and female fungi. Some fungi show dimorphism. I told you that's what I plus and minuses. Right? Plus and minuses. And many may grow as a mycelia or the yeast-like state. Some yeast is a single cellular organism. It will not produce filaments like an hypha or other things. It's a single unicellular organism, yeast also, right? So they can filament in 25 degrees C and round in 37 degrees C. You see, fungi is yeast. So they can grow at as mycelia and like an yeast body. That is a specific characters of the yeast. So they have reported that that's what is a problem. So they have classified yeasts under kingdom. So it is mentioned that here though they can also produce some mycelia-like structures in the sexual dimorphism stage, right? So many confusions are there while you are studying classification of the fungi. You will come across, but if you are reading different literature, you may confuse more because some literatures are classifying in differently. Some classifications are, some literatures are classifying in different ways. But the basic, it's enough for you. If you are going to evolve as a plant pathologist or a mycologist, you can go deep, right? Go deep. This is a sexual reproduction. I told you plus and minuses fuse together, the form spores, zygote. Fuse together, form a zygote. The zygote is developed as a spores, sexual spores. This is a sexual reproduction, right? Sexual. There are 2 mating types. So one and hyphae, that's what it is mentioned. 2 mating types fuse together and form zygote. The zygote is deposited by the heart seed spore coat and modified as a spore. So 3 types of asexual reproduction. This is a sexual reproduction, it's one type. Asexual reproduction, you can expect 3. In bacteria, only 1, binary fusion. But asexual reproduction in fungi in 3. One is fragmentation, and that's what I told you. Hypha or mycelium break, and it can form a new colony. Budding in the yeast, commonly you can expect this in yeast. So budding, like a binary fusion, means from the mother cells. So evagination, so through the evagination, this DNA and other materials will go. So it will split out from the mother cell. It will emerge as a new. That's what is called a budding. And asexual spores, they are producing asexual spores also, conidiospores and the sporangiospore. So through that spores also they can reproduce. That's what there are 3 different categories, different types of asexual reproduction you can expect in that. The sexual reproduction I told you, right? There are 3: Basidia, Sporangia, Ascus. In the Basidiospores, other than the Basidia, you can expect other 2, Duodospores and the Teliospores. This is a fungal spore. You see, ascospores, you can expect there are 8 spores, ascospores. That's what they call the ascus. As Ascomycota fungi, phylum Ascomycota producing ascus. Inside the ascus, ascus is a fruiting body. Inside the ascus, you can expect 8 spores. Basidiomycota, for example, mushroom, Basidiomycota producing mycelia-like structure. So in that you can find the basidium. In the basidium, you can expect there are 4 spores. Basidiospores are 4. Right? Then zygospores, only 1. The sporangia is here. The sporangia, you can find the sporangiospores and asexual spores. Right? Asexual is confused, so I have to change this one. Don't follow this. Sporangia is a sexual. But these are the fruiting bodies. But Basidia, Sporangia, Ascus are the fruiting bodies, right? Fruiting. Then we can move to the classification of the fungi. Before going to the classification, if you have any doubt, you can ask. So we can continue with the classification of the plant pathogenic fungi, right? So the fungi that you are taking as a fungi as a goal group, so you will expect there are a lot of classification, a lot of different classification. But in this section, you are also you are going to study the classification of the plant pathogenic fungi. Right? So plant pathogenic fungi classification is very, very important than the other classifications because majority of the diseases are caused by the fungi, the plants, right? The fungi plants. So therefore, and also it shows variations, a lot of variations in the plant pathogenic fungi. That's what is very important, but its classification is a simple, right? So this is a so the diagram, it shows how you can classify the fungi. Plant pathogenic, right? So the plant pathogenic fungi, you can classify it into basically, broadly you can classify into fungal-like organism or the lower fungi and true fungi, right? Fungal-like organism or true fungi. So this fungal-like organism, there are two kingdoms, right? True fungi, we can also classify it as under the kingdom fungi. But normally for the fungi, so don't confuse it. There are three different kingdoms like that. But the classification, it says under the kingdom fungi, so there are three divisions. There are three divisions. You can take this one as a three divisions. But literature, it has mentioned that kingdom Protozoa, kingdom Bromista, kingdom fungi. Right? But you can take this one as a division. So Protozoa, Bromista, and fungi all are coming under the kingdom fungi. But for our study, right? For our study, and so you can, if you want to follow that this classification, you can refer the book by Agrios, G.N. Agrios, 2005, fourth edition. Right? Fourth editions are available. Fourth or fifth editions may be available. Fourth edition. Fourth or fifth edition. Right? 2005. G.N. Agrios. You can refer that book. Whatever you are studying here, if you have any doubt, you can refer that book. It is a very good book, right? Very good book. Maybe 1,000 pages, so 1,500 pages are there. So this lower fungi, this is we called as a lower fungi, fungal-like organism. There are two, Protozoa and Chromista. Another one is a kingdom fungi. In this Protozoa and Chromista, there are two classes are there. One is we call it as a Myxomycota, other one is Plasmodiophoramycota. Right? Myxomycota, Plasmodiophoramycota. In the kingdom fungi, you can find there are four groups. This one is Chytridiomycota, Zygomycota, Basidiomycota, Ascomycota. Like these three are actually in some literature saying there are three phylums, right? Ascomycota, Basidiomycota, Zygomycota. These three, and some literature earlier they mentioned that four, Chytridiomycota. Sometimes the Chytridiomycota coming under fungal-like organisms, right? The problem is you can follow that kingdom fungi. The kingdom fungi, there are three, Protozoa, Chromista, and fungi. And there are six phylums. So Myxomycota, Plasmodium Phoromycota, Chytridiomycota, Zygomycota, Ascomycota, and Basidiomycota. There are six phylums. But the four phylums are very, very important. Right? These four, Chytridiomycota, Zygomycota, Basidiomycota, Ascomycota. The members coming under these four phylum, so definitely you will come across in when you are studying the diseases. Every disease you will study. But this one sometimes may come, sometimes may not come. right? So because they are moving towards the evolutionary trend, pushing them to move towards the kingdom fungi, but yeah, exactly that's not fungi. So fungal-like organism, that's what we call it as a fungal-like organism. Kingdom Protozoa is a unicellular plasmodial colony. A unicellular plasmodial and colonial. In this, there are two phylum. So one phylum we call it as a Myxomycota. We call it as a Myxomycota. They are producing zoospores. They are producing zoospores is an asexual spores, right? This is enough for you, right? This is they are producing asexual spores, right? Asexual spores, zoospores. One group we call it as a Myxomycota, right? Example is Mycomycetes class, Mycomycetes. Example is Silmy mold. Example is a Silmy mold. Their body is like a plasmid. This is kingdom Protozoa. So this 4 is enough for you. Protozoa, phylum Myxomycota, class Mycomycetes. Example is Silmy mold, zoospores. Right? So next one. There are another one is there. This is Mycomycota. Another one is here, Plasmodiophoramycota. Right? So you can remember that in a Zilmi mold as well, and Physalis also you can keep it, right? Physalis also you can keep it in your sound notes. Second group is Plasmodiophoramycota. Here Plasmodiophorales, order Plasmodiophorales. So in the genus, one genus we call it as Plasmodiophora. This Plasmodiophora brassicae is causing a club root, right? In cabbage, club root disease in cabbage is caused by the Plasmodiophora brassicae. So coming under the order Plasmodiophorales, phylum Plasmodiophoramycota, right? Kingdom Protozoa. So they are producing sporangiophore. They are producing, they are not producing like a two structure, but there are 3 genuses are there: Plasmodiophora, Polymixa, Sporangiophora, right? There are 3 genuses: Plasmodiophora, Polymixa, Sporangiophora. The second kingdom, Chromista. The Chromista, sometimes we also call it as a fungal-like organism. So they are primarily phototropic. The fungi also you can find the phototropic fungi, right? So they have the flagella and the chloroplasts. They have the flagella and chloroplast is contained brown alga, diatom, oomycetes, some other similar organisms. That's what they are mentioning. The Chromista is like coming under the fungi group because oomycetes groups are coming under the Chromista. Important phylum is an Oomycota. In the Oomycota, there are 3 members, right? There are 3 members, very big, causing the very big problem or diseases in plants. So these Oomycota fungi, you can find that cell wall is composed of glaucon. Instead of chitin, they have the glucan, right? Instead of chitin, they have the glucan. You cannot find chitin as a cell wall in these Oomycota groups. Or any lower fungi group, you cannot find chitin as a cell wall. Only you can find glucan or other polysaccharides and celluloses. You see, cellulose, hydroxyporoline, and glucan. These are making the cell wall of these lower fungi groups. Example is phylum Oomycota. The Oomycota, so there are 3 classes, right? 3 classes. So Oomycetes, sorry, the class Oomycetes, in the class Oomycetes, there are 3 orders. the Saprolegionalis, Pernosphoras, and Pythium. Right? Genus Pythiaceae, family Pythiaceae. You see, Saprolegionalis, Pernosphoras, so genus Alphanomyces, and family Pythiaceae. The Pythiaceae, Pythium, and Phytophthora. That's what I told you. Pythium and Phytophthora causing the damping of and late blights of potato. Other one is Phernosphoraceae. They are coming. There are 3 genuses: Plasmophora, Bremia, and Pseudophernosphora. Right? There are 3 genuses, and family Albuginaceae. Right? Albuginaceae. So you see now, you can go back. Right? Is kingdom Chromista. The kingdom Chromista, you can find phylum Oomycota. The phylum Oomycota, class Oomycetes. Right? The class Oomycetes, there are 3 orders. One order is Saprolegionalis, other one is Pernosphoralis, other one is there are 2 orders, not 3, 2 orders, Saprolegionalis and Phernosphoralis. The Phernosphoralis, you can find family Pythiaceae. Right? Family Pythiaceae. In the family Pythiaceae, there are 3 genus. One is Pythium, other one is Phytophthora. There are two from this family Pythiaceae. Other one is Phernosphoraceae. In this Phernosphoraceae, there are 3 genuses: Plasmophora, Phernospora, Pseudophernosphora. 3 genuses. These all are causing the diseases on plants. You see, go back. Kingdom Chromista. The kingdom Chromista, you can find phylum Oomycota. The phylum Oomycota, you can find class Oomycetes. The class Oomycetes, you can find there are 2 orders. The 2 orders, second orders, we call as a Pernosphoralis. The second Pernosphoralis orders, there are families Pythiaceae. These Pythiaceae family, there are 2 families. Pythiaceae, other one is Albuginaceae. Here, 3 families: Pythiaceae, Phernosphoraceae, Albuginaceae. But our target is from the Pythiaceae, Pythium and Phytophthora. Phernosphoraceae, there are 3 genus: Plasmophora, Phernospora, Pseudophernosphora, and family Albuginaceae, genus Albugo. Albugo candida causing the white rust in crucifers. Right? So Phernosphoras here, the Phernospora causing the Phernospora tabacina, so downy mildew. Phernospora cubensis, downy mildew in crucifers. Plasmopara viticola causing downy mildew in grapes. You will study this one. It's very, very important because in the grapes, downy mildew and powdery mildew are causing the tremendous losses because severe diseases, right? Epidemic. So this Plasmopora viticola causing downy mildew in grapes. It's very important. In this Pythiaceae, these 2, Pythium and Phytophthora. Genus Pythium, genus Phytophthora. In this Phernosphoraceae family, Plasmophora. You can remember one if you are feeling that it is too much. But family Albuginaceae, only one, Albugo. These also we call it as coming under the kingdom Chromista. The kingdom Chromista, you can find the order Oomycota, right? Oomycota, phylum Oomycota. In the phylum Oomycota, you can find class Oomycetes. The class Oomycetes, there are 2 orders, Saprolegionalis and Phernosphoras. The order Phernosphoralis, there are 3 families: Pythiaceae, Phernosphoraceae, Albuginaceae. The Pythiaceae, there are 2 genus, Pythium and Phytophthora. And Phernosphoraceae, there are 3 genuses are there, but 1 genus is very important, Plasmophora. And Albuginaceae, there are 1 genus is very important, Albugo. Right? This is under the kingdom. Then we can go for a true fungi. We can go to the true fungi. So before go into the true fungi, I am stopping here with, because otherwise it will confuse you more. Right? Confuse you more. Until now, I am stopping here with. If you have any